Market conditions, majority bullish 14 and 0 on S&P futures, relatively flat this morning. The weekly time frame also 14 and 0, sitting at all-time highs or very close to those all-time highs. The last 3 or 4 days haven't had a whole lot of activity, really the last couple of weeks, which is pretty normal for these summer months, especially these holiday months. Let me squeeze this in just a little bit, get a little bit bigger perspective here and see where we're at. That 6,000 range could still be our support area if we do get a pullback, and still be quite bullish in these areas. So we're extended to the upside, getting a expansion of trend, and we're reaching all-time highs here on the weekly time frame trend indicator, as well as price activity, and those are our current market conditions. S&P 500 sitting at the upper end of the range, 14 and 0, closing out yesterday. Breadth, we're seeing that holding right around that 70 level, 72, and the 80 range, anything above 80 starts to become unsustainable, and we start to get some profit taking at those levels. We've been bouncing off of that 80, have yet to really pushed up above that. We'll see if we do get anything here, as volatility volume may start to pick up this month. We will see VIX down below 16 today, 1595. That could also be bullish for equities if we can drop back down below that 15. Haven't been there for a little while. You can see we've been holding that range now for months, really into May, and see if we can drop and sustain this level. We're seeing bonds push a little bit higher here. The short end of the yield curve, SHY, continuing to move to the downside. We've got majority bearish at 8 and 6, 10 and 4 on the weekly time frame. But you can see that red bar that we've been pushing back down. That's corresponding to rates being a little bit more volatile here in the last few days, pushing back up. The 2-year Treasury is at 387. Majority bearish, but it has had a push higher the last couple of days. TLT also showing that majority bearish at 13 and 11. This one struggled a lot more to try and get any mojo and momentum moving to the upside here, but we're seeing the 10-year 4.35% on the 10-year, and really flat right here. Majority bearish still on the daily, consolidating a little bit in this upper range. Dow Jones Industrial Average, let's take a look at that. Still pressing into this supply block, and majority bullish at 14, having that nice expansion. Just kind of a quiet few weeks here for the Dow. Triple Qs breaking out all-time highs here as well, and it looks like it's grabbing now that high from yesterday. So we are at all-time highs still in technology, and not surprised to see that leading the group here. IWM, Russell 2000, these are your small cap names, pushing a little bit higher towards that upper momentum zone, and this upper supply block, getting that expansion here at 14 and 0, and we'll see if we get that push higher to that 230 range on Russell before we run into any significant resistance here. USO, I haven't talked about this. Well, we didn't do an update yesterday, but we haven't talked about it for a couple of days here. We're sitting right still at that 76 range. Had that big fall off the last a couple of weeks from the geopolitical issues happening, and it's really just hasn't moved much since then. Let's take a look at gold and see where we're at here. Still in the momentum zone. Let me grab this low right here. Grab this low and this high. We're at that 299 range, still holding that 300 range for our momentum, getting a little bit of a softness towards the upper end of the trend, but still holding that ground. Bears not willing to push, and buyers not willing to aggressively sell quite yet. We're in this upper end of this momentum range here as well. Silver also giving us that perspective in upper momentum zone. 3205 is the swing low point. Support for 283, or the 236 support area for silver. A couple stock ideas to consider today. We have ARQQ, which is in the quantum computing space. We're seeing those names still continue to work well, and this is another one that's getting a confirmation bar here. Some increased volume, back in momentum. And MIRM, which is in the pharmaceutical space, also nice confirmation bar, increased volume. Not a whole lot of names inside of that list. If you'd like more information on how to access the list, set up your charts, get all of these, all of the information that we go through in the morning, there are links in the description to be able to get access to the training, the course, the Substack. Lots of information for you to be able to utilize there. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.